Welcome to my channel Value Old Coins Today videos. Is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The United States of America half-dollar coin, dated 1983D, stands as an enduring testament to both the legacy of one of America's most beloved presidents and the ongoing evolution of the nation's circulating coinage, known formally as the Kennedy half-dollar. This coin features the image of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, who led the country through some of its most turbulent and transformative years before his life was tragically cut short by assassination in November 1963. The Kennedy half-dollar was swiftly introduced in early 1964 as a memorial to the fallen president, replacing the Franklin half-dollar. Since its inception, the coin has remained an iconic fixture in the annals of American numismatics, admired for both its symbolism and historical associations. The 1983D issue represents one of the later circulating years for the coin before it gradually began to see decreased usage in everyday commerce in the latter decades of the 20th century. On the obverse front of the 1983D Kennedy half-dollar, one finds the prominent left-facing bust of President Kennedy, a design by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the United States Mint at the time of the coin's original debut. The depiction captures Kennedy's distinctive features: a resolute expression, a sharply contoured jawline, and a carefully detailed hairline swept back in classic 1960s fashion. This obverse design was intended not merely as a likeness, but as a symbol of vigor, progress, and the hopefulness of an America that Kennedy once envisioned. Encircling the top periphery of the coin in bold capital letters is the word liberty, representing one of the nation's founding principles. At the lower field, positioned beneath Kennedy's chin and extending across the truncation of his neckline, appears the enduring national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has graced American coinage since the mid-19th century and expresses the country's spiritual and moral convictions. Beneath this, centered along the bottom edge, is the date of minting, 1983. Just above the date, adjacent to Kennedy's neckline and slightly to the right, is the mint mark D, indicating the coin's production at the Denver Mint. Turning to the reverse backside of the 1983D half-dollar, one encounters the emblematic image of the presidential seal of the United States, adapted for coinage by Frank Gasparro, the assistant engraver at the time of the coin's creation, who later succeeded Roberts as chief engraver. At the center is a bold heraldic eagle, wings spread protectively and defiantly, clutching an olive branch in its right talon and a bundle of 13 arrows in its left. These elements symbolize the country's commitment to peace and its readiness to defend itself if necessary. The eagle's breast bears a shield, with vertical stripes symbolizing the original 13 colonies and a horizontal chief unifying them under federal government. Above the eagle's head floats a cluster of 13 stars encircled by a ring of rays, signifying the unity and emergence of the original states into a cohesive republic. Surrounding the central design are 50 small stars, representing each state in the Union as of 1983. Around the outer rim of the reverse are inscribed the words United States of America along the upper curve and half-dollar along the lower periphery. These inscriptions are rendered in bold capital lettering, their placement contributing to the symmetry and aesthetic balance of the coin's design. The edge of the coin is reeded, a feature consisting of 150 small vertical grooves that originated in earlier precious metal coinage to deter the practice of shaving slivers from coin edges. Though precious metal was no longer used in circulating half-dollars by 1983, this traditional design feature continued, both as a security measure and as a tactile identifier. One of the most important features of the 1983D Kennedy half-dollar is its composition. By 1983, all circulating Kennedy half-dollars had long since transitioned from the original 90% silver composition of 1964 and the later 40% silver-clad issues from 1965 to 1970 to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The outer layers of the coin are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This modern clad composition provides a durable, silvery appearance, resistant to corrosion and tarnish, while also reflecting the practical economic realities of American minting policy in the latter half of the 20th century. The physical specifications of the 1983D half-dollar remain consistent with those established for the series since the transition to clad coinage in 1971. The coin has a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, 1.205 inches, and a mass of 11.34 grams, 0.400 ounces. Its large size and substantial weight set it apart from other circulating denominations, lending it a distinct presence both in the hand and within a collection. The reeded edge not only provides a classic tactile feature, but also a nod to the era when such coins contained valuable metals and were more actively circulated in commerce. The Denver Mint, which struck the 1983D half-dollar, has a long and storied history of coin production, having served as one of the nation's primary minting facilities since its establishment in 1906. The 1983D issue was produced in significant quantities for general circulation. That year saw the production of over 32.47 million Kennedy half dollars at the Denver Mint, with the bulk of these coins entering circulation, though many were subsequently set aside by the public due to the enduring popularity of Kennedy's image and the declining general circulation use of half-dollar coins during the 1980s. The numismatic interest in the 1983D Kennedy half-dollar lies not only in its historical context and symbolism, but also in its role within the broader trend of declining half-dollar circulation during this period. By the early 1980s, half-dollars were no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. They were more often distributed by banks upon request, or used in casinos, vending machines, and by collectors. This relative scarcity in pocket change made later-date Kennedy half-dollars less frequently encountered by the public, though they remained official legal tender and continued to be produced in moderate quantities. From a collector's perspective, while circulated examples of the 1983D Kennedy half-dollar are readily available and modestly priced, uncirculated specimens in higher mint state grades, particularly those achieving and above, are considerably scarcer due to the handling practices and high-speed production techniques of the era, which often left contact marks, scuffs, and abrasions on coins. Brilliant uncirculated boo rolls of these coins are sometimes available on the secondary market, especially among dealers specializing in modern U.S. coinage. Additionally, era varieties exist for the 1983D issue, including examples of off-center strikes, clipped planchettes and double die, or reverses DDO/DD, are all of which can command premiums depending on the severity and visibility of the error. In terms of proof issues, it should be noted that the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors in 1983, designated with an S Mint mark, while no Philadelphia proof or circulation half-dollars were produced for that year. These 1983 S-proof Kennedy half-dollars are distinguished by their sharp details, frosted devices, and mirror-like fields, and are typically found in the 1983 United States proof sets issued by the Mint. To sum up, the 1983D United States of America Kennedy half-dollar is far more than just a piece of base metal coinage. It is a tangible link to America's past, a memorial to a beloved president, a reflection of U.S. monetary policy, and a fascinating artifact from an era of shifting currency usage habits. It stands as a testament to the skill of American engravers such as Gilroy, Roberts, and Frank, whose work continues to grace millions of coins in circulation and collectors' albums alike. Whether preserved as a well-worn circulating relic, housed as a gleaming, uncirculated specimen, or cherished as a proof coin within a numismatic collection, each 1983D Kennedy half-dollar carries with it a small but meaningful piece of the American story. The United States of America half-dollar coin, dated 2023 p. represents one of the latest entries in the enduring and historic Kennedy half-dollar series, a coin which for nearly 6 decades has stood as both a circulating piece of American currency and a memorial to one of the nation's most iconic and transformative leaders. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, a rapid and heartfelt response to the assassination of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy in November 1963. An event that sent shockwaves across the United States and around the world. Almost immediately following his death, the U.S. Treasury and the Mint moved swiftly to honor his memory by placing his portrait on the half-dollar denomination, a coin then in active circulation and with historical precedents for such tributes. The first Kennedy half-dollar coins, struck in 1964, featured a 90% silver composition, making them both valuable and highly collectible. As the decades passed, the coin underwent various compositional changes and shifts in public usage, yet it retained its place within American numismatic tradition. The 2023 P issue is a testament to this continuity, a modern coin that maintains the original design elements while existing in a vastly different monetary and cultural landscape than its 1964 predecessor. The obverse front of the 2023 P Kennedy half-dollar prominently features the classic left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, originally designed by Gilroy Roberts, who was the chief engraver of the United States Mint at the time of the coin's debut. Roberts' portrait remains largely unaltered from its initial appearance, a respectful and dignified representation of Kennedy's distinct profile. His sharp cheekbones, confident expression, and swept-back hair evoke both the man himself and the era of optimism and progress he came to represent. The design is a numismatic symbol of remembrance and national unity, having appeared on the obverse of the half-dollar for over half a century. Circling the upper periphery of the obverse is the word liberty, a foundational principle of the American Republic, rendered in bold capital letters. Positioned in 2 parts, beneath Kennedy's chin and neck, are the words "In God and we trust." The the national motto of the United States since the 1950s and a recurring element on nearly all modern American coinage. Below Kennedy's neckline appears the 4-digit year of issue, 2023, identifying the coin's production year. Just above the date and immediately to the right of Kennedy's neckline truncation is the mint mark P, designating the coin's production at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest operational mint facility in the United States. Established in 1792, while mint marks for Philadelphia-issued coins were historically omitted. In modern U.S. coinage, the P mint mark is routinely used on half dollars and other denominations to clearly identify the origin of the strike, offering collectors an important point of differentiation, especially for series like the Kennedy half dollar, where multiple mint facilities contribute to annual production runs. The reverse backside of the 2023 Kennedy half dollar continues to display the dignified and iconic adaptation of the presidential seal of the United States, a design originally crafted for coinage by Frank Gasparo, who succeeded Roberts as chief engraver. The central motif is a bold heraldic eagle, its wings spread upward and outward in a pose of strength and protection. In its right talon, the eagle holds an olive branch, the age-old symbol of peace, while in its left talon, it grasps a bundle of 13 arrows, representing the original 13 colonies and the country's enduring readiness to defend itself. If threatened, on the eagle's chest is a shield, with vertical stripes representing the colonies joined by a horizontal chief, symbolizing unity under federal government. Above the eagle's head is a ring of 13 five-pointed stars, symbolizing the founding states, with rays of glory radiating outward. Encircling this central emblem are the inscriptions, United States of America, along the upper perimeter, and half doll along the lower periphery, both in bold, capitalized lettering. Between these inscriptions and the eagle design are 50 small stars, each representing one of the 50 states in the Union. The elegant arrangement of these design elements ensures symmetry, balance, and a visual representation of American sovereignty, history, and national unity. The edge of the coin is reeded, containing 150 small vertical grooves, a traditional design feature historically meant to deter the illegal practice of clipping metal from precious metal coins, which remains a distinguishing and practical characteristic of modern U.S. coinage. A critical feature of the 2023 P. Kennedy half dollar lies in its composition. Like its modern predecessors since 1971, the 2023 issue is made from a clad composition. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which sandwich a pure copper core. This composition imparts a silvery appearance, while offering superior durability and resistance to corrosion. It also reflects the economic reality of late 20th and 21st century minting, where precious metals are reserved for bullion, collectors' coins, and investment products, while base metals are used for mass circulating coinage. The 2023 Kennedy half dollar maintains a mass of 11.34 grams, 0.400 ounces, and a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, 1.205 inches, making it one of the largest and heaviest circulating denominations in contemporary U.S. currency. Although the coin is now rarely encountered in everyday commerce and is primarily produced for collectors and bulk distribution to financial institutions upon request. The 2023 Kennedy half dollars were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, though the vast majority of coins are issued in uncirculated condition for collectors, coin dealers, and financial institutions, as general circulation demand for the denomination has dwindled since the 1980s. Proof versions, struck with mirror-like fields and frosted devices for collector sets, were produced at the San Francisco Mint, denoted by the S mint mark. The 2023 P issue was manufactured in substantial numbers, largely intended for S mint coin rolls and bag sales offered directly to collectors and dealers through the Mint's website and subscription programs. Although official mintage figures can fluctuate slightly, the total number of 2023 Kennedy half dollars struck at the Philadelphia Mint numbered in the millions, ensuring ample availability for hobbyists and bulk purchasers alike. From a numismatic standpoint, the 2023 P. Kennedy half dollar holds significance as part of the continuing story of a coin series that began nearly 6 decades earlier. Though not rare in circulated or uncirculated conditions, the coin remains a sentimental favorite among collectors, particularly those assembling Dayton mint mark sets of Kennedy half dollars, high-grade, uncirculated specimens, MS66 and higher, especially those with clean surfaces, strong strikes, and full luster, are desirable for those aiming to assemble premium quality sets. Additionally, collectors seek out variety coins and minting errors, such as double die obverses or reverses, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchettes, and other anomalies, which can command significant premiums depending on their rarity and severity. Furthermore, as with other modern U.S. coinage, the 2023 Kennedy half dollar holds educational value, providing insight into contemporary U.S. minting technology, die production, planchette preparation, and quality control practices. Its enduring design, virtually unchanged for nearly 60 years, offers a connection to mid-20th century American ideals and the enduring legacy of President Kennedy. The coin also serves as a collectible artifact commemorating the continued operation of historic mint facilities such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, institutions that have been instrumental in shaping American commerce and coinage since the 18th and 19th centuries. In conclusion, the United States of America half-dollar dated 2023 P is far more than a base metal coin produced for bulk issue. It is a living memorial to a celebrated leader, a continuation of a beloved coinage series, and a modern artifact that reflects both America's past and present. Its classic imagery, substantial physical presence, and historical associations ensure its place within the annals of American numismacy. Whether preserved in mint-sealed rolls, stored in a coin album, or collected as part of a Kennedy half-dollar Dayton mint mark set, each 2023 P Kennedy half-dollar continues a proud tradition of American commemorative and circulating coinage, a small, tangible link to the nation's history, ideals, and enduring respect for those who helped shape its destiny.